What's going on? All right, so we're going to go through an insurance company here and look at some of the positives. What can we do better? What can we improve? And just do a little audit here of Worth Insurance. So let's go through this. All right, what we got here? Okay, I'm gonna move me. There we go. All right, cool. Let's do it. So, well, first thing, as far as so home insurance looks like, let's look at the website really quick, see if we can get an idea. Free insurance quote for home, condo, landlord. Okay, cool. So property insurance. Oh, is that the booking link? Worth Insurance. Cool. All right, let's go look at some of our where we're ranking. Get started there. Search Worth Insurance. I think this is it. Worth Insurance in Palm Beach. Palm Beach. Cool. Rad. Flager Drive. Just want to make sure I'm not. I don't know if that is the right. All right, let's see here. Let's go back here. Worth Insurance. Beach. Florida. Flager. Oh, there we go. Looks like maybe there's multiple locations. So let's go see what other locations they might have. So this says, yeah, the Palm Beach Gardens number 203. Let's see if we can find locations. Okay, there we go. So there are, in fact, 2 locations here. Good to know. So let's check both of them. Actually, really quick, let's see. This one has 26 reviews. This one has 202. Gotcha. All right. Okay, so it looks like I would say home insurance looks like home insurance agency. All right, so that should give us a pretty good barometer here. So give me the miles here. I mean, look, you got to kind of judge things, right, based on where you're at. I mean, this is West Palm Beach, Florida. I assume this is a pretty well populated area. Let's just move down here. And let's run this search. And then we'll run it again at the other location. Okay. And show it to me. Okay, where is it, you idiot? Oh, I have a search on. It's my fault. Okay, cool. So, all right, that's not too bad. Let's go over here now and look at the Worth Insurance of Home Laker Drive, right? That was the other one. Oh, okay. Wow, that one's like downtown, huh? Okay. Yeah, okay, so that one's 2%. So my first question that I would be asking myself, right, I mean, look, if this area here is super worthwhile, then maybe it's worth having the second location. But I would be asking myself about that a little bit. Let's see where we rank. So this one, right, like this other location is already ranking number 3 here, right? Right above our other location. So, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Wait, let me see. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, we're already, and I don't know what it looked like before. Maybe this is a good location, but whenever you split locations like this, you split your efforts, because you could have one location right now that has, 230 reviews instead of, it can be difficult to juggle 2 locations. And so I would be keeping a lookout for that. I mean, if I were in this situation, I guess the West Palm Beach, and look, I'm in this exact situation with another company, and it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to determine, because yeah, your other location's address is not like it's in Palm Beach Gardens, right, instead of West Palm Beach, which is the search term. But now you're splitting yourself, right? And you're kicking yourself a little bit, because you kind of wish you would have just started in the center, so your address reflected that the actual downtown location. But this is the situation you find yourself in. So I get it. I probably would be doing the exact same thing as you're doing in this scenario, but you have to ask yourself, if you're ending up just splitting yourself down in half. Now, in your efforts, you're splitting your efforts, which, like I said, you're kind of getting pretty close here to being able to rank in the exact area that this other location is in. And maybe you were ranking better there until you opened this second location. So I would say I don't have a really good answer to the multiple locations. From what I've seen people dominate and crush by just having one location that just does so much better than all of their competitors. So unless you're already doubling or tripling the amount of reviews your competitors are getting, it can be difficult, because now you start to compress the amount of reviews that you're going to get on each location, and you can end up actually hurting yourself on both of the locations, right? So that would be the first thing I would be considering. Another potential strategy, though, that I've seen work really well is having the second location try to rank for a different search term, right? So if you're ranking for home insurance on the first search term, right? But let's grab your let's go to the maps, and let's look at these. Come on, Google. Can't be that stupid. Let's go. Okay. So, I would, if I look at this and I say, oh, okay, yeah, actually you are doing that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's a good play. So I'd be watching your rankings on both, but I don't know if insurance agency and home insurance agency are different enough to where that's going to matter, right? Like it seems that in some instances, different categories are actually different, like plumber and electrician. Those are different. But sometimes they can be like the same, like restaurant or Mexican restaurant. They might fall under a similar, like a bar or a sports bar. So that can put you in a position where you're actually not differentiating yourself enough, and where those are kind of the same. So I'd be watching whatever keywords you're watching here and see if you can find a way to maybe rank for different keywords on different profiles. But then ultimately you're just asking yourself, is this working, right? Am I starting to see a pickup? But I would really be hitting the reviews. You know, I mean, let's look at some of your competitors here and see what kind of review level these people that are beating you out here are getting. So Harvest Insurance, it looks like they're at 49% of the local voice. That's the big one that you want to keep that you probably already know about. So yeah, oh wow. Yeah, 1,900 reviews. So I mean, and then we can say, okay, their address, see, they're in Riviera Beach, right? They're not in a West Palm Beach. So then our next question so where were we here on this, in this area? If we find our Earth. Yeah, so you're at 57% of the share of local voice in this area, while they're at 49. You're doing pretty good on that metric generally, but that review count is just pretty hardcore. So yeah, and that's especially like, I would really not be trying to split myself if my competitors are getting more reviews than me, right? That puts us in even weaker position. Like, I wouldn't be splitting my efforts until I'm already doubling the amount. So I'd be going through that other insurance agency. I'd look, how many reviews are they getting on average? And I'd be looking every month, what's their average every month for the last 3 months? And I would be trying to get one more than that. If they're getting 20 a month, you need 21. That would be my goal. And if you could do that for like 3 months, right? I like to take things in chunks. Don't try to beat them in a month, or don't try to beat them over like 2 years, 4 years in your head. That just becomes untenable. Say, we're going to beat them for 3 months. Every month, we're going to get one more review. We're going to dig into the coffers of anything we can find to beat them. Do that for 3 months. Then you're going to start getting this boost from that turns into more customers, that turns into more reviews. So that's how I would be looking at this particular scenario. Yeah. So that's a little bit of information here. Now, so we've got, that Harvest Insurance seems like they're the biggest one. So I would be really targeting them and looking to beat them. And it looks like, you're kind of lucky. It doesn't look like a lot of other people are doing a really great job. See here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So 456, where are they located? They're in a West Palm Beach address. So yeah, I would assume, let's look at your other location. Who's even beating you, number one here? Yeah, 28. So that's kind of manageable. Yeah, David. Cool. So that's reviews. That's the map. And then we can look at the profile itself. Yeah, posting, putting up pictures, putting up videos. Love it. That's really good, actually. Yeah. I think, I think, like, where's the people? I know this is like, I think it does help. I think it does help a lot. We're not talking about necessarily directly helping your rankings, but all of this stuff is important for. So there's the David's. There's harvest. Now, I would personalize this, right? I think the more you can show real people, I think that's helpful. And the video is really good. I like that. Well, let's look at their categories really quick. So yeah, I mean, there's more categories. I'm sure you're aware. I would just assume you probably don't do these. What did we have on here? Let's go through the categories real quick. So I don't know if you do the auto. I don't remember now. I saw. No. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you got that dialed in pretty good. So yeah, I mean, you're getting good reviews. I would just make that a bigger focus, obviously. But I would consider the second location. You know, I would keep that in mind. Is that working for you or not? You know, I've been doing a second location in a very similar situation. And I can tell you, most people still call the first location. That second location does not get a lot. Now, is it helping us bleed into a new area? Yes. But I think you need to exhaust every option first. That's what I would be doing. I would be making sure I'm getting all the reviews, doing all of that stuff first, and then do the second location. So let's go through the site now. I think this is obviously looks, oh, you do have auto in here. So I don't know if that's if you're just, I don't know your approach there. Okay, so was this linking to okay, that's the Palm Beach one. This work links, let's jump on this. Okay. Oh, I'm in both Palm Beach Gardens. Oh, I'm on the same one. Okay, so that links to this. So this is your landing page. Palm Beach Gardens, phone number, hours. You know, I'd be responding to these reviews quickly. I mean, everything on your Google Business profile I would be doing. Responding to reviews quickly, putting up posts, putting up pictures, right? Like, fill out everything that you can. I can't see all that stuff. Putting up Q&As. Looks like you are doing that a little bit. That's good. Services. Sometimes I don't know if it's showing it or not, but filling out your services, filling out your products, using landing pages on the site. And then on the site, right, Florida Home Insurance, landing pages, good call to actions. I always like a lot of call to actions. That's nice. That's great. Yeah, I think these are really, this is a lot of good information, it seems. Let's look at the structure of linking pages is what we want to look at. So you don't have that same booking link on this. I would make sure similarly, right? Photos, responding to reviews. Let's look at the structure. Title. That's pretty good. I think you want to make sure that you're including the information from the Google Business Profile, right? So your trusted home insurance, right? For a home insurance agency, you know, insurance agency, I would make sure that in your title you put that, your trusted home insurance agency. just match it up. It's a smart thing to do, is just to match your, make sure in the title of your landing page that it has your business name and it has your category, right? The exact category name that Google's using. Then yeah, your description should just be something that helps catch attention. That's good. It includes some of the information. Yeah, right. Like the location. Yeah, insurance. Cool. And then let's look at the headings. So I like to clean these up. Look, your H1 in, coverage, I don't even know where these are. Page. So it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, see if we can find this information, this coverage spotlight. Looks like it's in one of the drop-down menus. I think it's one of these. Oh, here it is. So these are headers. You have these as headers. I mean, I don't like that. I don't know if that's going to make some kind of giant difference, right? But look, I think you want to look at this as if it's a chapter book. Okay? This is your title, right? Then you have, right, should be an H2 probably. Maybe this is an H3, right? Then you come down here. This is an H2, right? This is an H2. These are all H3s. That's how it should look on this setup. I should be able to go to headings and I should see title, H1, right? This, boom, first. Then an H2, then an H2, then H2. Maybe some H3s that have some more information in them, right? Those frequently asked questions, those are great, right? I would have each one of those be an H3, right? And I would get rid of all these in your headers, or this in your navigation. I'd get rid of all those. And then, what's your internal linking like here? I would be trying to do some internal links. I don't know if they just don't. Let's see here. So those are just your anchors. This doesn't do a great job at finding them, but I would be, there's some good places here, or even add more information so you can put some internal links. But I would be trying to do some internal links. Those are much more powerful for this. I would make sure the whole site has strong internal linking structure on these pages to different pages in the text, right? And add, here's some place. Why is there no internal links there, right? Where's your frequently asked questions, right? Are you putting internal links, especially in here? That's not going to throw anybody off. And it makes all those more powerful, right? So that's just kind of some structure. I'd be going through all the header structures of all your pages and just making sure that it all is cleaned up. This can all be cleaned up a little bit more. That would be a little benefit. Now so I think as far as the Google, I would have, right? I see your address is down here. That's not bad. Your primary address. I'd almost add something down here and put both addresses. You only have two, right? So in that case, I would just put them both in the bottom with maybe links to their Google Maps, right? Make a little place down here that shows both maps, has them both there. That would be helpful, I think. And then you'd have two addresses in the bottom. It would kind of boost both of them. Link to the location pages from the footer. Then every page has that in it. Linking to your home page with this, I think is helpful. that's a good way to improve some of this. I think this is great. I would maybe include a bar above your, I like the social proof, right? Like I like putting the bar at the top that's like, maybe puts your phone number, right, as like a secondary way to contact you. And then over here, you could put a link to your Google profile, or you could say, hey, we have this many reviews, right? Some kind of call out there. And I like that kind of stuff, but I know this is really clean. And I like to give people two options. So you have a get a quote here. If you put your phone number up in this top bar, that would be another way people can contact you. And then every time, like, look, I would have a call to action here, right? Two of them. One that says shop, one that says, call now. Whatever your first and second. The first one, if it's this get a quote, you put it again. Then you have the phone call button is like just a neutral, while the get a quote button would be in the blue or whatever color, right? So I would definitely be pushing people to take those actions wherever I can. You see all Florida insurance companies, like, okay, cool. If that's what you're trying to get people to do, this is great, right? I would just be, make sure you're pushing, do the actions everywhere that you can. As far as clean and nice, I mean, yeah, this looks really nice. So that's what I'll say about the website. And then I'll just go through really quick. Let's do SEMrush 36. Looks like you're getting some good traffic. That is not bad. It looks like you're building some. Let's look at your backlink profile. Actually, let's look at your rankings. See what you're ranking for. Which traffic. So now let's look for so this is where I would be trying to point, point this all. Actually, let's go. Right, like this is where you should be focusing, is just on, I think if I'm, the site is doing a really, really good job at targeting as a primary focus Florida, right? And then, do we have, I didn't check for, I think that's the big miss here, is you're targeting Florida, right? Are you trying to get all of Florida? Is that your goal? Because when I go to Florida-based searches, right, I see that, even though there's some really high volume, high difficulty, which of course they're going to be high difficulty searches, you're not really ranking. Actually, I don't know. It looks like you might be ranking decently. I don't use SEMrush as much, so I was using Ahrefs before. So let me see. It says you're number 4, and your traffic percent. Okay, gotcha. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think this actually means you're doing really well with these Florida insurance. So that's great. Keep this up. I wouldn't actually change any of this information here. And I would keep working to get these higher up, right? Keep building the backlinks and working to acquire these and get higher up in these high volume where you're already doing well, right? I'd be trying to bump these up. I'd pick 3 or 4 of these and I'd be trying to focus on getting some backlinks. Let's see here. What are your backlink profile? I really need to go back to Ahrefs apparently because don't want to find the stuff I want to find. Like I'm going this page. Give me the backlinks. Let's see where your positions are. Yeah. So I think there's some pieces here, but where I think the miss is creating the city-based pages and content. Now, maybe I don't see it, but I see the locations, right? And I see those locations are talking about this, but you should have every city that you want to rank for every area, right? You need whatever it is. I don't know which of these is the big ones and not, you know, but yeah, you got to have your Palm Beach Gardens home insurance page. Or just, you know, yeah, Palm Beach Garden Home Insurance Agency, Juno Ridge Home Insurance Agency, Juno Beach, Northern Palm Beach, Lake Park, Riviera, like whatever of these are the big ones and the ones, you know, I'd sort them out. I would have location pages on each of these and you can find what's working, right? Because I can actually go to a keyword overview and I can say home insurance. Okay. And I can come in here and I can literally pick out based on those keywords which cities get searches. So I can say Juno Beach, apply. So home insurance adjuster, Juno Beach. I don't know if I clicked something here. So that one might not be the strongest one, right? So let's say Palm Beach. Home insurance in West Palm Beach, right? Home insurance in Palm Beach County, right? Home insurance in West Palm Beach. That's the same thing. Attorneys, home insurance, Palm Beach home insurance. That's kind of the same thing. Okay. So yeah, that would be a really good one to have a page on. Now, maybe you have it and I can't find it, but if you don't, then this is, you know, building out your city page content. So let's try, what do we have? Riviera Beach. I don't know which ones of these. Probably spelling that wrong too. No, I got it. So yeah, home insurance agency, Riviera Beach, right? So this is going to help you rank in these like Lake Worth. Let's try that real quick. This will help you rank on your Google business. It'll give you places where you can get, see, there you go. It'll give you places you can pick up more search volume from the search engine, right? Potentially from AI as that becomes more. And it'll help you have more places with strength to do internal linking. So you'll create more content. And you already have great page designs. You can pretty much use those. Link them together. If you want, you can say location for, you know, your Palm Beach Gardens, and it links up to all the cities it serves. And then you have your other Palm Beach location. It links up to all those that it is serving, right? And then what I would do at the end of all this is I would take these location pages and I would start building some local backlinks. I think that's something I've been looking a lot into and doing a lot more of for people, because this is what Google looks for, right? Like this page is your landing page. And that becomes the problem once again with the 2 locations. It's really good. And I've been setting people up this way as well. I like this setup. But as a strength setup, it can actually be a little bit less effective, because if you have your home page, which is getting all these backlinks, that can strengthen your Google business profile rankings, especially locally. So I would be spending some time getting local backlinks to these location pages, right? And just start building some backlink strength to those. And now if those are connected to the city pages or the neighborhood pages or whatever that it serves, those start to get a boost. Those are backlinking back to this, right? And you start to develop a whole web of location and local information. You've done, looks like, a really good job at targeting Florida. I wouldn't change that, especially if it's getting you traffic from search engines. Keep building the backlinks there and building your brand, but then start to localize with the neighborhoods and the location information in a silo around each area, and then build those primary locations with the biggest volume. Target those. You can always look in a tool to see what kind of volume is there, and build those out. And that can get you a few more leads, right? I mean, geez, that's totally worth it if it gets you a few more people every month. Starts to build, everything starts to build on top of it. You start to grow, you start to do more, you start to get more reviews, right? Now on top of that, you're starting to bring more people in. So I like to take these things, like I said, in 90 days. You can make a 90-day plan to smash this content, smash these internal links, smash some reviews, right? Really get all that stuff kind of moving in that direction. And I think you could really, get some improvement in what you're getting. I said, as far as like a nice looking site that people probably interact well with, this is great. I just think you could really bump up the local content game here. So hopefully that's helpful at some level. Hopefully this wasn't too long. Otherwise, yeah. Peace out.